waya 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 muti mwe pase mwe mulingi waya 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 mwe mulele mwe mulingi waya 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 mwe muti otabo mwe mulingi waya 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 mwe disanozo mwe mulingi waya 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 mwe mutemile mwe mulingi waya waya hey kui mama. One of my major achievements was that I was able to publish, through the assistance of the university, 2 of the plays that I staged in St. Lucia a couple of years just before I migrated, so to speak, to Trinidad. That is The Field of Power and The Fight for Belle Vue. And I was able to publish those plays in Trinidad. And more so, I was able to do a film adaptation of The Fight for Belle Vue with my students, my degree students at the university. And you know, that is such a rewarding experience, you know, the way they caught onto it. The Creole songs, you know, the Creole phrases and so on, they were really fascinated by this and were really eager to learn the Creole songs. So it was really a delight doing it in that regard. And I'm just waiting, of course, for very soon when the general public will get a view of the film and see how a St. Lucian play adapts to a Trinidad environment and among Trinidadian actors, yes. You know, we're sitting here with in this wonderful place, this great scenery with Dauphin in the background, you know, La Bonne, yeah. The wind is very challenging, I know. However, this is the subject really, you know, the beauty of the Caribbean, the beauty of St. Lucia, that type of environment, how idyllic it is and how pleasant and how peaceful it is. And you know, that is the subject of the play, and that was very much well received by the students. We actually did the filming on the university farm, right, where we had the kind of vegetation, the kind of environment that we wanted. And although we did not have that kind of landscape here, but we had the vegetation, and so it was easy for the students through the dialogue to cue in their imagination to the subject of the environment and safeguarding the beauty of the environment. Right, The Fight for Belle Vue, I did that play with students at the South Community College when I taught there. And what it basically is, it's a very simple story. It's 2 brothers, Tonne and Kosh, who own a large estate that slopes down to the coast. And up comes a developer who wants to buy almost the entire estate in order to start a development. He has in mind a skiing school or something. And he offers a lot of money. However, $3 million actually. However, one brother wants to sell, the other brother does not want to sell. And so here you have the head-on conflict here.
I have something important to discuss with you, Natasha.
We have nothing to discuss, Sandra.
How can you stand here and say that? You know very well they're planning to take the land away. The land of our fathers and mothers. The land of our ancestors. How can you be part of that, Natasha? How can you let them drag you into that?
Into what?
They're planning to steal the land.
No.
I overheard them speaking.
They're planning to buy it. You cannot call that stealing.
But we don't want to sell.
The land belongs to us. To my father.
Exactly. And mine. Our fathers. And because my father doesn't want to sell, they're planning to take it away from him and give him what they want for it.
A lot of other themes come into play here because Tonne has a daughter who's a ballet dancer, and she's very much traditional, very much intent on safeguarding the culture and her heritage. Yeah, so it's not just the environment but the cultural heritage. She's very much interested in using her culture to develop herself and the people around her. Yeah, whereas Kosh has another daughter who's more worldly, who wants to go out and who doesn't mind the land being sold because she wants to go away to the US to study.
Why are you so tied to this land, Sandra? Why are you so glued to this place? There is nothing here for us, no opportunities. I want to get away, go to school. You think I just want to live my life working in town for just a few $100s a month? I don't know about you, Sandra, but that's not what I want for myself. Selling this land is a chance for us. Don't you get this?
So here you have also a lot of discussion, a lot of exploratory dialogue about the importance of cultural forms, the importance of cultural heritage, the importance of religion, but also there's a political dimension to it. And when I say political, I mean in terms of religion as well, because whereas a lot of the Kosh and his wife, who is a Christian Pentecostal, and also the developer, are looking very condescendingly at Tonne and his Kele religion, the African-derived religion. What is political is the daughter and Tonne as well defending the religion and saying, hey, how you could call our religion evil when you have the dominant religion overseeing a lot of crime, a lot of shooting, a lot of murders, a lot of prostitution, a lot of debauchery, a lot of stuff happening in the place that is degrading people and destroying the place. And you don't see that as evil, but you're seeing the traditional religion as evil, you know. And so you have that kind of cultural politics as well happening in the play.
Tell me, Sandra, what options do we have? Do you have?
Where is your faith? What do you believe in? You have no faith in yourself or in your roots. That was always your problem, Natasha. You always wanted to be somebody else. Always wanted to be a big city girl. You grew up here, but your mind was always somewhere else. That is why it is so easy for you to let the land go. That is why you could be part of this Coco Macaque to rid us of our birthright.
Yeah, so and you know, I go back to this play. I went back to this play. I did this play in Trinidad. I did the film adaptation because I think that these themes are very, very pertinent to the Caribbean at this time. Very pertinent to St. Lucia at this time, you know. And being here, you know, and there's a lot we have lost as well. You know, the landscape, the coast, you know, we've lost this, and we know what the ecological ramifications of losing, you know, a lot of our coastline to development and so on. I mean, it's recorded every day.
I shouldn't blame you. It's not your fault. It's your parents. That's how they brought you up. I just want to leave you with one warning, Natasha. Just be careful that your parents are not selling you as part of the package.
It's not so much about not having any development. That's not the purpose and not the argument. Can you imagine, you know, if our children or grandchildren never get such a view, that when they look here, what they're going to see is just villas on the sides of the mountain everywhere. Can you imagine that they wouldn't get this? I mean, no way, man. Can you imagine if our children were never able to drive and enjoy a beach without a whole heap of security guards constantly on their tail, you know, directing them what to do, or having walkie-talkies constantly looking at them and radioing, you know, no, you know. So I think that the outside world recognizes the Caribbean as a prized possession, and yeah, it is. And I think that we here, you know, the ordinary people in this area, you know, the ordinary people in this area, how free they are. This is the land where their ancestors worked. They have a right, and their children have a right to enjoy it. And so recently, when we had all this, the Black Lives Matter protests happening around the world, it was also very much about that, about tearing down all those misconceptions, breaking down all those misconceptions that were locked in statues and so on, taking them down and freeing our people so that they could be fully accepting of themselves, and knocking down all the prejudices and the stereotypes. You know, that is what the cultural work is also about. That's what it has to be about as well. That is the only way it can be meaningful and it can be truly liberating for the people. So that is the type of work I would like to see still that has to continue to be done in St. Lucia.